You wake up, drive 30 minutes to work as an employee at your 9 to 5, which you hate, and all you can think about at work is providing for your family, starting your business, moving it forward, changing the world, and in the process, living the life of freedom and fulfillment you've always imagined. This podcast helps you transition from employee to entrepreneur. My name is Bradley G. Smith, and welcome to the Keymaker Nation podcast. What's up, Keymakers? Today, we're going to talk about two things. When you can quit your job and don't bite the hand that feeds. All right, so just got off work and headed home, and really excited to be listening to some more Funnel Hacker Radio podcasts, just to get some ideas about what other people are doing with their funnels and how they're finding success. Since this podcast is focused on helping individuals go from employee to entrepreneur and make that transition, I thought it's probably high time, since I've gone through about 18 episodes already. I think this may be the 18th episode, that I talk specifically about when you could quit your job and don't bite the hand that feeds. Okay, so you're still working at your job theoretically. Now, hopefully, I get some business owners in here that are still that are working their business and have already quit their job or are already out on their own. So I'm hoping that I have that audience here too. But for those of you who are still working at your job, maybe it is a job you hate. For me, I personally love my job as a software engineer, and I like the people I work with, and it's sustaining me and my family until I get to the point where I'm able to make that transition. Okay, so there might be a couple of questions wrapped up in here, or at least one question that you might be thinking of while you're watching this or listening to this podcast. And that might be along the lines of, Brad, how are you trying to teach people that are moving from employee to entrepreneur when you're still an employee? And really simply, I'm documenting the journey on the most basic level. I'm just documenting the journey. So I'm doing it with you. I'm not asking you guys to do anything that I haven't done. I'm still doing it myself right now. And the other piece is specifically, like, right now, the job is what sustains me and my family. And I took a career path through college and eventually taught myself software engineering skills, and it's what has sustained me up to this point in my life. And over the last 6 or so years, we've gone through the process of having a baby, and now we have 3. And so it's, really helped me get to this point in my life to continue working as a software engineer. But, I've had a lot of experiences in my career up to this point, so it's been really good. But one thing that's really important as I've tried to hone my business skills for my own business while I'm working at my job has always been that you always must, so we're talking about don't bite the hand that feeds. You always must be respectful of the employer who you work for, right? And so that means getting your work done on time, if necessary, working a little bit outside of work to get your job done on time, and also just making sure that you're a reliable employee while you're there, because it's really what's sustaining you. And and what I mean by don't bite the hand that feeds is make sure you're getting your work done, and make sure you're not talking trash about your employer, especially if you don't like your job and you're trying to leave. So just make sure you're keeping up those obligations or those responsibilities for you, because it's going to be what sustains you until you can make the money that you need to be making in your own business. So that's one piece of it. And then so when can you quit your job? So let's talk a little bit more about that. So you can quit your job when Not necessarily when when your income that you're making at your job completely replaces your current income, but when you start getting successes that you know are sustainable and you can see the path for you to make your target, right? So some of you may be making, I don't know, let's just say $50,000 a year, and you say, okay, once I make $40,000 a year, I'm going to quit. Or once I see the path to be making $40,000 a year, I'm going to quit. But don't do it unless you're getting sales and unless you see that the sales are sustainable. So sales for you might happen any of a number of different ways. They may be interacting directly with clients. It may be interacting with clients online. It may be selling courses, something along those lines, maybe coaching or something. But make sure, regardless, you might be I guess one more thing, you might be an affiliate who has figured out a couple of things that you need to figure out in order to be able to sell online. And I'm thinking maybe of a low-hanging fruit like CPA marketing or something like that for affiliates. But the question is, how much are you willing, what is your goal? And can you see the current sales that you're making? Can you see the path to what your goal is, and is it sustainable? So yeah, that's really it. I haven't reached that yet with myself, and so I'm not making the transition yet. But since I'm documenting the journey, you guys will see it, and we'll all do this together, and I'll keep sharing everything that I'm learning related to building funnels and transitioning from employee to entrepreneur. And so yeah, that's pretty much it for today. Don't bite the hand that feeds, and when to quit your job. All right, guys, that's it for today. I'll talk to you guys soon. Hey guys, don't forget to join me in the Keymaker Nation private Facebook group. If you're listening to the podcast via iTunes, please rate and review. And if you're listening via YouTube, don't forget to thumbs up and subscribe. And as always, thanks for listening.